A woman that is in her feminine energy always needs a man that is in his masculine energy by her side. If he is not in his masculine energy, it will just be an absolute mismatch and it will just end up in fighting and just a lot of disharmony. But what are the things that women can do to kind of like push men into their masculine energy? This video is about those kind of things that you can do, and it's basically always about your feminine energy. So if you want to learn how to really level up and attract men that are in their masculine energy, then keep on watching. So the first and most important step is to relax in your feminine energy, because if you want a man that is in his masculine energy, you need to be in your feminine energy. If you are always controlling and you are always leading, you cannot expect to be with a man that is in his masculine energy, because you are basically taking over his role. So you need to relax in your feminine energy. So be receptive, not controlling, and really communicate honestly what you want and softly. Don't argue, don't rush around, don't fight with your man. Just always be in your feminine energy and communicate clearly but softly what you want. Something that is also super important is to give him the space to lead and plan things. Don't take over this position. Even though you maybe want to do it, always remind yourself that is his task. So really give him the space to do that for you both. So really be in your feminine energy, stay connected to your intuition. And your softness doesn't make you weak. It actually makes space for strength and also for him to lead in his masculine energy. Second thing is super important and always gets overlooked. You need to appreciate his effort. You need to understand that masculine energy really thrives on impact. So always communicate that you are grateful. And this really empowers him to treat you good, because if he does something for you, as an example, he holds the door open for you and you tell him, "Oh my God, I love the fact that you always hold the door open for me. It makes you so masculine and it makes me feel so safe and seen." You really show him that you see those efforts. And if it's just something small, but you see it and you appreciate it. And if a man feels that you appreciate his efforts, he will give you more of that. He will treat you good. But if you always nag around, he will not do something. So tell him, "I appreciate how you handled that. I appreciate that you make me feel safe." And this really reinforces his masculine energy without pressure. And in this way, he will be in his masculine energy and you will be in your receptive feminine energy. Give him space to make decisions. You should not go and lead and decide everything. In this way, you will block his masculine energy. If you just jump in and decide everything, he doesn't have room to step up and do something for you both. Something that you could say is, "You choose the restaurant. Surprise me." And this really shows him, okay, it's on me now to find something that she likes. So really give him room to decide. Not in a needy way, but in an inviting and really friendly and happy way. Ladies, stop mothering him. This is the biggest turnoff for masculine energy. So no correcting, no controlling, no reminding, no mothering him, no nagging. You are not his mom. Always remind yourself, if you always plan everything for him, organize everything for him, remind him of everything, you are giving mom energy, and that's the last thing that you want to do, because masculine energy cannot rise when it feels parented. So give him the room to think, act and lead. So something that is super important is the way you communicate. You need to be honest about the things that you need, but not in a demanding way. Men are really simple. They respond to clarity. So always state your boundaries. Say what you expect from a man and what not. And now it's also on him what he does with that. Basically, you give him the power now. And in this way, you also see how much he cares about you. As an example, you could say something like, "I know that you are working a lot, but I don't feel seen when you always are on the phone and you're always jumping from call to call. Maybe we can find a different way how to handle those situations." And now it's on him to find a way and to really say, okay, maybe we can have 10 minutes a day where we talk about the things that are important without the phone, without calls. And this also shows you that he is in his masculine energy and that he takes your wishes seriously. An example for good communication would be, "I feel the safest noticed when you do this or that. Or I love when you do this and that. A bad way to communicate would be, why are you never doing that? You don't hold the door open for me. You don't even love me. Why aren't you doing that? That's a nagging way. If you talk like this to a man, he will directly really turn off and he will not listen to you anymore. You need to be smart about that. You need to communicate in a really calming and also direct way. So to do that, you should state your standards and not your complaints. Let him pursue you. That's super important. For the masculine energy, it's really important to always pursue a woman. So never over-initiate, don't over-text, don't over-call, don't over-plan. That's not your role. Take a step back. Because if you do that, if you're always giving and you're always doing everything, he will switch into the passive mode. And you will be the woman that is always calling, always texting, doesn't feel loved, doesn't feel seen, doesn't feel taken care of, and in this way it will just end up in absolute disharmony. So give him space to show you that he cares. Give him space to act, to lead, and to also show consistency, because consistency is super important. We as women, we need consistency, we need safety. So give him the space to show you this consistency. Be anchored in your own feminine confidence, because you need to understand, if you love yourself and you care about yourself, you give him the direction to do the same. But if you are insecure about yourself and you don't love yourself, you don't treat yourself good, you set the standards for how you get treated. You get that? So if you love yourself and you buy yourself flowers every week because you appreciate yourself so much and you take care of yourself, you give him the direction to follow that. So know who you are, have self-respect, set boundaries and communicate directly. And you can have high standards. That's totally fine. Even though people might tell you your standards are too high, trust me, for the right man, the standards are not too high. So your confidence is really, really impactful. Work on that, because if you are not confident, you will always attract people that are not valuing you because you are not valuing yourself. So you basically set the standard for others. So the last thing is super important, and that's a mistake that many women make. You need to let him protect you and help you. Don't say things like, why are you holding the door open for me? I can do that myself. No, appreciate him and tell him, oh, I love that. You make me feel so feminine. You hold the door open for me. You bring me flowers. I'm so happy. Don't say, oh, why are you carrying that for me? I can do that myself. That's a big act of love. Let him do that. You can always ask for help as well. Don't be ashamed of that. He would love to help you if he is in his masculine energy. If you need to fix something, just ask him, hey, I would really appreciate your help. Could you fix that for me? And I'm promising you, he would love to do that. You really need to understand that you can block the masculine energy as well. If you always tell him that you can do it by yourself, he feels completely useless and he feels like his masculine role or energy is not being seen or valued or used. So he will switch into passive mode because you told him that you can do that by yourself. Of course, you can open the door for yourself as well. You don't need him to open the door for you, but it's a big act of love and it also is a nice gesture. So appreciate that. Let him do it. And really, the feminine energy is about taking a step back, letting him do it and letting him decide. And then you can still decide for yourself if you like it or not. But you give him the power basically. You take yourself out of it. You don't overtext, you don't overcall, you don't overthink. You just give him the power to lead and to really be the leading man in your relationship. And if he's doing things that you don't like, you can still cut the contact and tell him, hey, that's not for me, I don't like it. But let him show you his real face, his real values. How is he treating you? Is he taking you seriously? Because if you state something that you don't like and he does not respect that, you have your answer. If he wanted to, he would. And I'm telling you, if you communicate directly and he doesn't care, that's already a sign for you to leave. So my beautiful angels, that's it with the video. I hope it helped a lot of you and also reminded you about the fact that we as women, we don't need to chase, we don't need to overdo things. We simply just exist, and that's enough. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel, and we're going to see each other in the next video. Bye bye!